Alrighty, let's open the meeting. I'll do minutes because our minute taker's not here, so it's 7:05. This is Berlin Recreation. We are down a couple members. So just because this is being recorded, I'm Julie Lee, I'm a member.
Mark Adams, member.
Felicia Lowe, member.
John Blumack, non-member.
Rick Lee, non-member.
Rugrats, we brought in the riffraff. No, just kidding. All right. So we're gonna kind of go out of order on the agenda because we have two people here, and you guys don't need to. You're welcome to sit through bills if you want to,
Oh, we're
but
good
I
for
don't
now.
think
Yeah, you
we
guys
need
can
to
do
go through that now. So we're just kind of move all the financials to afterward. Although this will tie in a little bit with you, John, with soccer and your plan. So why don't we start with? Why don't we start with you, Rick, and then you'll be done, and then because soccer has a lot to do with the budget for next year too.
Well, I am looking to propose a disc golf course on South Commons.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. Another recreational fun activity. It's pretty simple to build. All we need is some money, and all I want to do is fundraise and implement a disc golf course. Nice and easy, 9-hole, kid-centric. Just getting everybody involved. And I've created a rough draft of what we're supposed to be looking at here with a layout. My only concerns are obviously to get approval from you folks to do such a thing and to make sure that I don't intrude on anything that is to not be intruded on. As you see on the first page with the hole number 2 up top and hole number 9 down bottom, if you move to the next page, you'll see the diagram of the town and all the property lines there. If you know the area, which you all do, you got the salt shed down here on the bottom, and then you have the school up on the top left. The lines here for the perimeter lines, basically, of the property that is not ours, not the town's. It looks a little bit different on the front page with it showing hole 2. That hole 2 is basically way here. Hole 2 is basically right here, so it's not touching the lines at all. And everything would be at least 20 feet from the stone wall that's, actually, there's a stone wall that actually creates this whole barrier, this whole way down. So it would be keeping everything on top of South Commons in the town grounds and away from, well, filling in an area that's completely blank and empty and not used except for parking along the road here. So it's just a great area to build something that the kids will work with and have fun with and create recreational programs. We can, you can even charge, recreation can charge money to have, like, I'll go out and train all the kids. I'll do a training session. They'll leave with a free disc because I have a surplus of discs because we are doing this in Boylston as well, or we have done this in Boylston. Not, this is much more small scale because this is more kid-centric based.
So you want to just talk really briefly about how you went to Boylston you guys just built one in Boylston?
Yeah, Boylston's a huge one. It's 18 holes. It covers 5,600 square feet, or I think it's a total of 2.25 miles when you walk the whole thing. That was positioned in front of the Recreation Committee, Conservation, and
Historic.
what is it? Historic Society, because all of them are all up there as well. And then it went through the town to be passed over, and everybody said yes. No money was put in from the town whatsoever, and that's the same thing that we're doing here. Is no money from the town. We're just creating it. Hopefully, that was done with all proceeds from sponsors. Nice sponsors in the room right now, actually.
Always.
But they charge. We charge $795 for a sponsorship for a hole there for 3 years. My ask was going to be just asking a simple $500 for a lifetime. Because, you know, we're not going to. It doesn't take any upkeep, as you can see the last page. This is what is to be upkept. You'll see we need a T sign, we need a box, and inside that box does not have to be wood chips like this. Those are actually horrible. We just put like stone dust in there or something. You could get crazy and get turf pads, but it's just such a small course for kids that you don't really need much run-up space when it comes to disc golf. And the basket here, that's as simple as it gets. It literally just goes in the ground like that. We put it in a 5-gallon removable bucket in case it ever needs to be moved or taken down. So anything that is just like Boylston kind of has an agreement in place where if it ever needs to be taken down, it can be taken down pretty easily. And
That's great.
the amount of traffic that's come to Boylston from that, there was 987 different players just last month that went through that course. That was just tracked on UDisc, which is a disc golf app. Yeah,
crazy.
bringing a lot more money into local areas, like Boylston House of Pizza is making a lot more money because we actually do our lost and found there, and everybody goes there and picks up a free, not a free pizza, picks up their disc and they buy it. That'd be not making
Oh, the general store maybe could do
I would,
that.
my
No
first thought was to have the
traffic in
general store sponsor the ninth hole and just have their phone number there and say, order a sub. And then,
Right.
you know,
a good
they can
idea.
keep all the lost and found discs there.
Yeah.
And I would keep a stockpile of discs for, I would want to actually, another spot would be a practice basket right by the playground. I'd like to put one there, so that's why we're looking for basically $5,000 total dollars, because each basket costs about $500. And put another practice basket there and just have some discs in it for anybody that just wants to pick up and say, what's that going on over there? So that's what I'm trying to do.
there. So impact to soccer fields or baseball fields?
Zero.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is already kind of like a dead zone over here.
Complete dead zone. The
Talking
only
about
thing that
last
happens
week.
over there, and I monitored it for months, going back and forth from there, and I mean, there's some dog walkers, there's some people that come down that Keys Road path to the Clemmers house up there. I would probably, out of respect, ask
Yeah.
the Clemmers if it was, if they wouldn't mind there being something on the other side of their property line.
That's actually not their property line
Oh, all right.
anymore.
There's a few. I thought this was
Like
Keith
this is-
Clemmers.
Well, it used to be. It's not anymore. Now it's owned by, oh my God, what's their last name? I can't remember their last name, but I can get it to you. Clemmers are farther up the street, more on Pleasant Street.
Oh, okay. So the properties that would be affected is these are, and so if we're looking at the second page again, the two top line properties are, I believe they're just people's very far backyards because it's complete woods. And then the one that says 254 feet on the right-hand side, that is the house that is currently no longer there.
Christensen's.
Yeah. And then,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and then the next house down I thought was the Clemmers. You can see, in the wintertime, you can see the house up there. So, I mean, worst case scenario, you put some type of green fencing up or something to block it, but there's not much there. And the next house down with the 175 square foot, 175 feet, is just a very long backyard and you can't see the person's house at all. And then these other ones down here are just, yeah, you can kind of see this house over here, but we're not even coming close to that area down there. So it should be very,
All on this side of the stone wall.
yes, everything at least 20 feet from the stone wall we're looking at. We have everything laid out pretty nice like that.
Have you like walked it back there, or is it like
Yes. So
is it thick, or is it?
it's not, it's pretty thin. That's the one thing that would be done is a lot of cleaning would be done there, which would actually benefit because it's quite sloppy with just old dead trees. All that stuff would be
Yeah.
removed. We'd like permission to move any small saplings like 3 inches and smaller, just to create smaller, like larger fairways. But no big trees would be removed except for 2 larger trees that aren't too large, but they're obviously a circumference base like this, but they're dying on the top, so it would be beneficial to get rid of them as well. I think those are the leftover from the caterpillar attack from 5 years ago.
All right.
Rick, what's the length of these holes? I know it's a
Yeah.
smaller space. Is it?
It's not comparable at all to any of the big courses. That's why it's more kid-centric. Also,
Okay.
we're kind of naming it an executive course because it's nice tight lines and fun. Longest hole is 1, that's 340 feet. So that's a great shot. And 2 is 225 feet, 3 is 220 feet. So they all average around 200 and 275 feet, except for hole 1 and hole 9 should be pretty long as well.
You just know that off the top of your head?
I measured everything, yeah. And I mean, we can move things anyway. I've been walking the property I wanted to do further back, but it was gonna intrude on conservation land over here.
Oh, right.
Oh, so this is not conservation?
This is nothing, this is all town grounds, so.
Makes it easy.
Yeah, it
Not conservation.
keeps thing off, keeps away from that, because there was some wetlands back there and some type of drainage, something that I just
Do
didn't
we need
wanna.
to talk to them about, like, cutting stuff down?
Honestly, not.
Well, I sent Kristen an email just so she's in the know. We're having this discussion tonight, so she'll advise on, what needs to be done next.
Has that been really wet, Rick, like recently?
It gets a little bit soggy, a little bit
Yeah.
further up from the 2. But I went back there in the super wet days because I thought that was a concern.
Yeah.
And that was, no, because all the water kind of stays in the back of the parking lot of the school. So, And
Well,
nothing
even if
really
it was,
crosses
it's
the
just
rock
like
wall.
one that would be it could be wet.
Oh, this whole area? No,
In the
that
spring.
should be good. That's, yeah, I mean, it's all grass. The grassy field here, you mean?
Yeah.
No, that should be okay. And we might, we
it's
could
great.
move a couple things, yeah. Great.
Kids are playing baseball, little kids are there.
And parents are gonna drop their kids off for soccer and be like, oh, I'll go get 9 holes in.
Yeah.
Keeps the activity going, everybody, I love it,
Exercise.
obviously.
Yeah.
And it'll keep,
Yeah, I mean, it's no brainer.
I feel like it is,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
we
agree.
just stamp this and.
So we need to get
What's up?
sponsors?
You
Well,
guys
that
wouldn't
would
have
go-
to do
wouldn't
anything,
go
I would
at
do
all.
everything. All I need is permission to just remove some small trees, saplings, cut down those 2 dead ones. And it would be a complete community project. You know,
Right.
anybody just, okay, guys, you said you'd help with it, you said you'd help with it.
Yep.
You know, we talked about it when we were doing the baseball fields over back last year.
Givers.
So he's like, oh, you thinking of something there? We'll do that. So you can,
Those are nice. Community builds are really nice.
oh, it's gonna be great. Just get a whole team of 20 people down there. All you gotta do is dig some holes, bury some baskets,
Yep.
create some, it's super great.
All right.
All right, that's awesome. So yeah, we'll just, I imagine
motion
Kristen
to-
will wait. Yeah, good.
Make a motion to approve the South Common Disc Golf Course presented by Rick Lee.
I'll second. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye.
Great, thank you very much.
That's
guys.
great.
Really appreciate it.
So we'll just, if Kristen advises, like, we have to go through any other process, we'll keep you in the
Shouldn't
know.
be too, right?
I know where you live, you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I don't think it should be too much of a concern. Everything's
so.
very,
Yeah.
very nicely, cleanly done. It's just cleaning up the dirt and.
Making it better. Love
Making it better,
I know,
yeah,
making
love
it better.
I'm
I
in.
would only think like the
Excellent.
butters would be.
It's gonna be done.
Yeah, and that's actually a good
That's
point, but you're gonna reach out to the abutters, you're gonna let them know.
Only because I know who they are. so
Correct.
it's-
That'd be great.
We'll bring Felicia with some
one potentially
sweatshirts.
could be
Yeah.
different.
1503.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
we should all learn them. What the
I
heck do you
can,
represent?
if you guys ever want to walk back there before we start doing any work, or if you want to see the butters property, we can do it tomorrow, no matter.
Oh, I know the property.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter
yeah,
what
you're
it
pretty
is.
well known.
Maybe when it gets nicer, I'll walk it.
Ah, it's beautiful walking the snow.
Now's the time.
Yeah.
Now's the time.
See all the lines.
This is a really great presentation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming
Thanks for
in.
coming.
I feel like the abutter right there will like it. He's super into pickleball and they walk down.
And they can just walk down and play.
Oh, yeah.
He probably likes disc golf too.
Oh, I wonder if pickleball people are into disc golf, kind of different.
You should
It's-
hand free disc people when you go and see them.
Yeah, go.
Right, right,
There you
right.
go.
Nice.
Right. All right,
Excellent.
that's great, yeah.
All right.
Well done.
Thanks,
Great.
Rick.
What do I do now?
I mean, if you want to stick around for John.
Yeah, I'd love to stick around for John's.
Oh, right, wow, this is community. All right, so let me first, before, this will take not long at all, because it ties into your soccer stuff, okay? So we had to submit a budget request to the town, and they asked that we don't exceed a 2.5% increase. And I know we've been, this is what I submitted to them, and I know we've been hemming and hawing for like what seems like 15 years, to just kind of advocate for rec and what rec needs, from software to be able to run rec programming so people can access our programming and just sign up online, to having a director part-time, to having money for programs themselves, rather than just being pigeonholed to field maintenance and everything that goes with that, which is like the portable toilets and the goose patrol, blah, blah, blah. So we had to sort of, Felicia did actually a really nice budget request, which was aggressive, right? And we have to kind of keep in mind too, right, like all departments are asking for money, so we want to be sensitive to that, but we also have, you know, a duty to our community members to provide them with, to fulfill our charter of providing recreational programming. So what we did was we kind of took so what you have to do is this is the exact form that June puts out every year for every department. And year over year, we have to just fill these in, right? So she told me I could tweak it a little bit and add our line items in here. So we had our last year's, what we were appropriated, and then this year, if anything went up. So for instance, our septic went up because we're leaving a portable toilet over on the pond side now more for a longer period of time because now pickleball's over there too. So that was the increase there, so of $720. Goose Patrol stayed the same from last year to this year. It was $800, so we didn't have any increase there. Trash, since COVID, the highway department was doing it, but then it was suggested that that expense comes back to recreation, which you don't think like trash removal is expensive, but yes it is. So we had to factor in now $1,840 into our budget now. And then we have the fields. So last year we were allocated $12,450. We put that in again into our budget, and in this packet of paperwork, there is a strong suggestion that that comes out of our budget and it goes to the highway department or facilities or whomever. So we no longer have that. No, we don't meet with FinCom until February to have this conversation with them to see if that's even something they can do. Because the money still comes from here, and where it gets allocated, it just gets allocated to a department. There was discussion about, well, if that comes out of your budget, then we need to take the money too and put it in highway or facilities or wherever that's going to go. Which is, we want the money. We want the money. We just don't want to have that expense. We want that to go somewhere else. So then what we had to do also was, this is just how June does it. This is how the town does it. So when we are asking for a part-time director for, I think it was 12,400. It's just
10,000.
10,400, was that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we had to fill out, these are called supplemental funding requests. So because they're not part of our original budget last year, it's considered supplemental. So we filled out for 3 of those. We filled out for summer programming staff. We filled out for the software, which we want to have online. I sent you guys all a thing. I met with a guy. We did a Zoom call. Boylston uses it. Northborough uses it. Every surrounding town uses it. Everybody uses it for rec software. It's a really great software. I had to write a job description for the part-time director, so we had to submit that. And then it's just so much stuff. Don't worry, everyone, don't worry, it's fine. I'm just putting it there. And then I just wrote to them explaining that what our charter is and why we feel like we need these things over the field maintenance. I did also write in this, though, we can help with field maintenance, right, the cost, because the reality is when True Green quoted it to maintain those fields, this is after the rebuild, just to maintain them with irrigation. When we met with Dave, it's going to be about $26,000. So that's aerating twice a year, seeding twice a year, fertilizing, grub control, weed preventative as needed. And that depends. Like if you might not need that every time, year over year, twice a year, if you can maintain the fields. But this is a bigger conversation with soccer and CPA that's already started. But we need to understand, the town needs to understand that the fields at this point, because there's so many kids now playing soccer, it's not like it was 15 years ago where the soccer program was cute and small. It's huge, right? The soccer program is huge. How many kids you have in the program now?
Over 200.
Yeah, so that's twice a year. The usability of those fields, it's just compacting. Like, you think about aerating all that costs $6,000 to aerate and seed. So you say, like, let's not aerate. Well, if you don't aerate and it's getting used like that, it's just going to keep compacting it, and you can't bring oxygen to the soil, so it's not an efficient way for the seeds to develop, I've learned. So, we have 2 things going on here, right? We have to maintain the fields annually. That's a project. Rebuilding the fields is another CPA project, which you can talk about when we get to that. But if the fields get rebuilt, we're still going to need, year over year, $26,000 to maintain them. So Greg and the soccer board had tossed around ideas of raising fees he had said if you raise them by $20 a kid, that brings $8,000 that can go toward field expense.
Yeah.
And up to.
What's that?
What is it now? Is it 90 for like 3-4 level? And
Yeah,
then like
90 for
60
every level,
little?
25 for a jersey, but that doesn't factor in. And it's 60 for 1 and 2.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it would be 80 for 1 and 2, which is 8 weeks of stuff for them to do. $10 a week, it's not too bad.
Compared to other towns, we're low, right?
We're
We are
low,
low.
we're on the low side. We're not the lowest, though, but.
They're also playing in dirt, so it's like.
True, true.
Right.
It's accurate.
What would grade 3, 4 be with a $20 increase?
110.
Okay, and then keep going up, 5, 6, 7, 8?
It's all
Same?
110.
Okay. Okay, and so that would then generate, say, about 8,000, right? And now I was gonna ask this of you guys.
I'm more comfortable saying like 7,000.
Okay, all right, we'll go with
I'm sure
7.
there's
Kids
Is
might
it
not
200 times
play.
20, or then 2 seasons.
Oh, you have 2 seasons.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but you must have less in one season than the other, in
Little
spring.
bit. It's
Just by a little bit?
negligible.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
It's like 190 and 208.
Wow.
Yeah, but that could not be consistent
It's gonna grow.
all the time.
Get those fields going.
That's true.
More kids.
If they get better.
So, all right, so if that's what they contribute, right? So the yearly maintenance is 27,600. Okay, so so if they can do 7,000, and then that's just with a fee increase, right? So you guys would basically just earmark that. And then for us, for rec, we would still charge to rent the fields, or are you suggesting there's no fee to rent the fields if you're gonna raise fees?
If they're paying, I think if they're paying $8,000 a year towards the field maintenance.
7,000.
If they're paying $10,000 a year.
We're not going 8. We're not going 8.
Then I feel like it's a lot for them to also pay to rent the field that they're paying to maintain.
What do we charge?
It's similar to
for the
baseball.
fields?
Like baseball is maintaining the
50.
fields, and then it's weird if they're like paying to rent the field they're maintaining. You know?
Well, yeah, but they're not really paying to maintain the field, they're paying a portion. That's a solid argument, I see it, but if, like, to maintain the fields is $27,000, they're paying 8.
I'm saying more historically. Like we've not paid $27,000 to maintain the fields.
Yeah, but the backfield was 12 grand to fix.
I'm talking about like annual maintenance though.
Oh, no, because it's been very strange since I came on, the fields were what they were, I'd say in better shape, actually. But then the budget was just always so small, so
Yeah.
it's very hard to keep on top of maintaining them correctly. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So okay, so then essentially, that would be, so 20,000 would be unspoken for, to maintain the fields. Right? 27 minus 7, it's 20,000. So where does that money come from?
Well, we're currently have 12,000 towards it, right?
If the money stays in there, we'd have 12, correct?
So you need to make up another 8.
Mhm.
I think the town should.
This is why our budget needs to increase more than 2.5%.
So
Well, I think
let's
it
say,
should be
like,
a
if we keep.
facilities department, which we don't have.
Don't we-
Supposedly we do.
Well, I think that has to be approved. The guy's position has to be approved on town floor first.
Oh.
That's what I
So they hired
understand.
him and now he's gone.
I think a lot of things we're paying for are like more of a facility.
Correct, right.
Septic, field maintenance. The
So we-
recreation programming is not putting down fertilizer.
Right. But we'd be using that space. So we could factor it in, like when we run the soccer camp, like a portion of that can go to fields. When we run like summer programming, a portion of that can go to fields. Like anytime we're using the space, we can charge on our end fees, right? Rather than charging a field usage fee. But things like if we rent out the fields,
Mhm.
like for that adult league, that money can go to field usage, yeah? or
That
no?
could be more for people that aren't like from town, I guess. That's what we need to figure out.
Well, we can do that field usage fee. We can do like residents, non-residents. Are you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But could we throughout the year make up this $8,000 in programming that we run and renting the fields, or do you think that's not a good idea?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like I would have an issue if I was soccer, if they're paying $8,000 towards the fields, and then on top of that, they have to rent them as well.
No, I agree with you. Okay, I hear what you're
So we're
saying.
gonna lose
forget.
money from renting them. that we're
No, I
getting.
mean outside people. I mean, like if we have an adult soccer league come in. Is that what you?
No, I
you're
mean,
talking
like,
about youth.
I was talking more about like our budget and like if we're counting on the money that we raise from soccer from renting the fields as we have in the past. If they're now paying like $8,000, we're going to lose the $1,500 they were paying before. So shouldn't that be factored in as well?
So we're gaining
no.
$6,500.
Yeah, we're like gaining $6,500 because we're losing. If we're not going to charge them a field fee.
Yeah, but their
Keep on.
field fee's
Yeah.
been pretty inconsistent, quite honestly, because I pulled those figures today. 1 year it was $75 a team. 1 year it was $50 a team because soccer felt 75 was too expensive, so we dropped it to 50 to be reasonable. Is that what you're saying? The field usage fees?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, I don't know what you're saying. That's what I'm asking. I'm sorry. So their field usage fees since 2019, they've paid 1, 2, 3, 4, 4,000, 9, 5,700 since 2019.
Okay.
So those are very different figures. So I agree. I don't think if they're going to put in 8,000, we should charge them a field usage fee. I agree with you.
That's all I was trying to say. And then,
No, yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
But if a men's soccer league is renting it,
Sure.
I think that money
Yeah.
should go toward field usage fees because we could offset some of that 8,000 remaining.
Do you think 8,000 is sustainable though, like year after year? I feel like that's a lot.
7. You
Seven.
said 7.
No, remaining. You mean remaining?
We're not.
No,
gonna
I'm saying,
pay for
like,
the fields
go-
anymore,
just going
so
forward.
it'd be 8.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
But we'd
I
still
don't
pay
know.
for the fields.
Oh, you were factoring in that on top of.
Like year after year, I feel like that's a big thing for soccer to pay. I feel like.
Well, yeah, but we're putting it on the families that are registering.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless our program shrinks a ton, yeah.
But don't you think
It's
that
sustainable.
like the town like should pay for that through the
Oh, absolutely.
taxpayer money versus like the families that already pay taxes and are already paying for their kid to play soccer? Now they have to pay more to like fertilize the fields.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's a bigger.
So soccer's gonna your field usage fees are gonna go from like $1,000 a year to $8,000 a year.
But we're increasing the fees to play soccer.
I feel like I would put that on the town, like versus.
But how do you put it on the town?
Right.
know.
I see what you're
That's what we're here to
saying.
figure out. I don't think it's a lot for soccer. I would, if I was doing, I wouldn't do that for baseball. Like that's crazy.
I don't know. I agree. I don't think the family should have to pay for it.
Like
But
they're already paying taxes in the town.
I want nice fields, so I'm trying to figure out what to do it.
Right. You're finding a middle ground.
I hear
right.
you, but I feel like there should be like a.
I don't think a
Sucks and
$20 increase, $80 to play 8 weeks of soccer is egregious by any means for first and second grade.
No.
I don't think it is either.
I don't think anybody will have an issue.
But I think
I
that money
don't
should go
think.
towards like, in my opinion, like the soccer program, not maintaining South Common.
Well, so a portion of it does or does not?
Portion of what does not.
Your fees. What do your fees go to? If a kid pays $80, how is that broken down? So 20 would go to fields. What does the other 60 go to?
Uniform?
Oh, there's lots of mass youth soccer
Yeah.
fees. There's Neshoba Valley
Yep.
soccer league fees, ref
Yep.
pay. Insurance. I don't know how
Yeah,
that gets
insurance.
paid. It must be paid. I hope so. Trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I don't have like a complete breakdown.
Right,
That's
okay.
like-
But are
those
you-
fees going up too.
Right. But are you
So-
making money per kid in your program?
I think we are right now, but barely.
Right. Okay.
And we have some savings for like big purchases like goals. We
Yeah.
expect to have to replace at some point, but
Yeah.
I don't know. This would just be a $20 increase that would go straight to the fields. Or if the town could pay for it,
I feel like the town has the capacity to pay for it in some regard, I would guess. I mean, $20,000 is not a huge number in the annual budget of the town.
Mm-hmm. I know. We can certainly have that conversation.
It's from the recreation, but no, I'm not, sorry, I'm not allowed, am I allowed to talk?
Yeah, of course,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, I thought just, okay.
I didn't talk during yours.
Well, I know, that's what I
I want to say things like.
But doesn't
"That's awesome."
recreation only have a budget of like $14,000?
1755.
17.55, so why doesn't recreation get a bigger budget and then take care of the fields, like actually take care of the fields?
Well, right, because like, you know, here's the thing, right? The money, you get so much money, right? And then it just has to get divvied out. So whether it comes, you know, they say, sure, here's 30,000 for you guys in rec to manage the fields. The issue, I think, is going to be, they don't have that $27,000. That's what I think is gonna happen.
I get that.
So they're
That's
gonna-
why recreation should just have more money from the
Yeah,
town.
but that's the thing, the town has, they have this much money to give out, and they give some to highway, and some to safety, and some to school, like a lot to school, and some to rec, and some to everyone, and then
I'd say that-
there's
I'd say
no
the-
more.
Say South Commons is the most heavily utilized piece of property in all of Berlin.
It's the only
And to have only
sports
$17,000.
property.
I am
It's where all the
100%, I
events
agree with you, I agree.
It's where everything happens.
agree.
That is town.
I think you're taking the right steps and saying, all right, we're gonna make that spot safe and playable for all residents in town through CPA. Like, it's not like, you know, John said, we need $250,000 from the town budget to pay for these grounds, because they didn't do that. They went through used the growth tool that's available in town now, and that's gonna go to town floor, hopefully, probably, to rebuild them, but now there has to be a maintenance plan in place moving forward.
Yeah, if you do all that work and don't have a
Correct.
maintenance
They don't
plan.
understand
Yeah.
this at, like, town meeting or whatever, that doesn't make any sense. It's just like throwing the $14,000 a year that we've thrown away for the
Right.
past 5 years.
Right.
And we have fields that look like crap.
Yeah.
Right. So we just need we need a plan. So I appreciate how you're like, all right, we're gonna help a little bit on our end, and I totally understand what you're saying. I don't like for that.
It's like it's a lot for soccer to pay, like year after year after year after year.
Right.
It's very expensive. Yeah.
And it's like all the families in town are already paying for stuff, you know?
Yep.
I feel like
Should be
unless
inclu-
we get all these things moving, like having a director to
Mm-hmm.
make things much simpler for everybody else and
Although I gotta
run
be
programs
honest,
and bring money in, it's like,
I don't think does soccer play games 1-2 level?
yeah.
$80 for 8 weeks with a game and 2 practices.
It's one practice.
Steel.
It's a steal, Mark.
What
That's a
is the,
steal.
what is the
I'm not
charge
saying
like other
it's
towns
childcare.
charge? Like, what does Boylston charge? Or are they the same?
I
More.
don't know.
I'll tell you right now, it's more.
I'm sure it is.
Eric already told me that we charge way low.
What was another town that was lower than us?
I don't know.
God, John.
And it's fine. I think that's
You're
what's
fair, man.
that's what's great. That's what's great about this town. You know that it is
What does
affordable.
Spencer charge per child? Come on.
That's right.
I didn't have your show with that.
I remember that Becky said that a long time ago when Chris was running it, that these fees are very low in Berlin.
Yeah.
And they were adamant about keeping the fees low for families.
Yeah,
that's
that would be a
important.
bummer to raise them just because I mean, it's nice to get new fields. That would be amazing if that all goes through. Like, that would be
People will be happy.
something that I've wanted to see. Yeah, I've watched
Oh,
my
and
kids
then
play
you
on
can,
town
you
here.
mean
Great,
say
yeah.
justify
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, because nobody wants to, like you said, if they're playing on dirt, they're gonna pay $20 more. That's insane.
But I also think families expect some type of increase.
But there's going to be
Every
increases
so many years.
in general anyway. The
Yeah,
uniforms
there's gonna
will
be in the
more,
Neshoba Valley
you know,
registration.
registration fees will be more. It's like, it's going to go
That's
up
true.
regardless.
Uniforms. Yeah, you're right. So that's why you're asking, is it sustainable?
Yeah, I think you're always going to
Right.
be kind of chasing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're not locked into paying exactly this fee every year, right? Or is it locked?
Well, I think
in?
that's what you got to kind of
Yeah.
promise, you know?
Yeah, I think Mark's right. If the expense is $27 to treat the fields annually, it might be a little wiggle room with the grub and the weed, but roughly that.
Hopefully
Then if soccer's saying we'll kick in this and rec's saying we'll kick in this, then the town's left with there's still an $8,000 remaining. So if he has a rough season,
that's
Yeah, you just need to find the extra money.
That's
Need
realistic.
more money,
with the-
more budget for recreation, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like that, in my opinion, that's the answer. But I know,
Alright, so
that's-
we- alright.
I know that's like an impossible ask. It's never going to happen. So it's
well,
like,
no, I think it's reasonable actually. If we
It definitely is reasonable, but
Go back to the
based
original
on
budget.
our historically, that
I
stuff
feel like
hasn't.
60% of the people in this town have families, and everybody's always down there. How does recreation have the smallest budget of them all? Like, how do you not have a paid personnel like
Right.
Boylston or all the neighboring towns around us
Right.
to help build this program up?
Yeah, we're gonna try for that, and we're gonna try for the fields. So are you suggesting then we take the 8,000 remaining and the 7,000, put them together and go back to the town and say, we'll keep the 12, can you make up 15?
I think that's, in my opinion, like the most logical.
Okay, then, all right. Okay,
Say that again.
okay, so we have 27,000 for the field maintenance, right?
Yep.
Mark is suggesting that the town, because it's a town facility, and people pay taxes
Mhm.
for these facilities, they have to take some ownership here in paying into that. So we keep the 12,450, I'm just throwing around these numbers, they're such great numbers. 12,450 in our budget that we already have allocated last year, and we put it in again for this year for True Green, because that expense is already in our budget.
Yep.
Soccer, raise your fees if you want to raise your fees, but that's gonna be separate. You don't pay the $8,000.
So then we would just pay you.
You would
the
pay
fields.
us a rental fee every year, and in the past, we've done 50 or 75, whatever it happens to be, which would be significantly lower than the 8,000, because with how many teams you have, 16, roughly, right? Probably that.
Yeah, it's 5.
So 16 times 75, that's 1,200 twice a year, so that'd be $2,400 a year that we'd collect from soccer rental fees. So we start with the 27, we have our 1,450, our 1,250 that's in rec. Soccer fees would be 2,400 a year. We'd have to talk with baseball.
Good luck.
I was just like, my ears didn't even perk up anymore. I'm like,
Yeah, so that's, no, rec 1450, no, sorry, 2,700 minus 12,450 minus 2,400. That's still gonna be then the town, we're gonna ask, can you make up 12,150 out of a facilities budget?
I think that's more than reasonable. For, what is it, 12 acres down there?
9.6, yep.
but won't you not need to do that for next year? Because next year it's gonna be unusable if it gets blown up. And then,
Yeah, next year,
and then you can just put it in the budget for the year after that, just to have the full 20.
let me see,
Well, I think it's gonna go in phases, Greg was saying, so I think you kind of need some of it like right away.
I don't think you should do phases at all.
I think people throw around that term phases. So it means different things to different people.
Well, there's
That is
plenty of
such a good
space.
point, because there were so many times that word came out and I was like,
CPA.
is your phase my phase?
Yeah.
Are we in the
No, I'm not
same-
saying like long phases. I'm saying like, he was saying like summer, then spring.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then CPA phases means
I
you
know,
get paid
yeah.
up front this much, and then you get next
I don't
year
agree
you
with
get
that.
Yeah,
Because then you don't know it's coming, and it's
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah.
can't, not gonna do like one soccer field.
yeah.
But that's a good point, though, for this budget cycle, would that 12,150 be needed?
We'll never get it if you don't request it.
No, but we
Please.
can, but,
Like in
but
the
if,
future.
but we can't, no, but if we request, we have to spend it that year.
Fine.
Otherwise, if we, don't on that, yeah.
I mean, regardless, we have to maintain, we have to spend more on the fields, even if they stay, if we don't get, if your thing isn't approved, we have to spend more on,
Right.
we have to spend that 27,000 regardless.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have to like level part of the field.
No, we have to like.
Yeah, but that will come out of
put
CPA funds.
Fertilizer in and.
Yeah.
But that's all
What's
built
the
crop
into that.
control?
Mm.
What's the funds for this year coming up in
Yeah.
2023? Because if that gets
See?
approved and you're doing that in the fall, then you only need to do half
What are you
anyway.
talking about?
So the CPA, if that gets approved,
Yeah,
you'll be ready for
But
launch
20
July 1st.
but 27 is annual maintenance.
Yeah.
That's not CPA.
Yeah, but, so we have to put in a budget request every year.
Yeah,
We don't need this 12,150 if there's gonna be no turf.
We're
to do
saying
anything.
you
oh,
do
right,
though, because.
that's part of it, yeah.
You can do it at the beginning of the
initial
year.
Next
Still
year.
fine.
So the initial project that they're building, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? The front fields is $22,000, which is the quote that we have, right?
Yeah.
That includes everything.
Right,
They're gonna fill it, they're gonna
Yeah.
loom it, they're gonna seed it, they're gonna do everything. So this will get done in the summer, won't be able to be used in the fall. It's playable in the spring of that next year. So then budget happens again in May. So we need this for, I think you're right, the following budget
2025.
cycle.
Yeah, but for next year, you only have 6 months of usage, so that 12,000 that you have in your budget can be used to do the backfields and all the other
Well,
stuff.
it's still gonna be tough because aerating and seeding is $6,000. You do that twice a year,
But
that's
you don't need to do it on the
$12,000.
front field. You can just play it out for the first 6 months until July happens, or only 3 months.
You
So
mean
then
for the spring?
Yeah, for the spring, you just aerate the backfield and seed the backfield, and even this field here, that could be possibly used for another
Oh.
soccer field and
I
behind
feel
the
like he's
school.
pitching his disco.
No, I'm
I'm
just
just kidding. I'm just kidding, I'm just
I'm just
kidding.
saying, like, that could be used as a soccer field. I don't
We
think-
talked
field
about that, I
doesn't
think
work.
Mark measured
well,
it.
okay.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not like flat enough.
Oh, okay.
I went down
Yeah, it is
there.
a little bit curvy.
Yeah.
I said that to John and Greg, that when that front field's not usable, just use the back and talk to the school. And if we can, we did behind the school before.
Yeah.
Mr. Campbell, it's always so nice to let them use
You
that.
could
That's
put
where
a, you could put
Kayla's
a
Yeah.
kindergarten field on the baseball field, couldn't you? Possibly.
Anything's
If-
possible.
If anything, if you know.
You could put
Then that's
kindergarten
gonna be
where in that
trashed.
space, right in that,
They can go anywhere.
right near the salt shed, because they don't
Yeah.
play games.
But you can't, I mean, in all honesty, that back field in the back right could be built.
Yeah.
Like, you could put 4 fields on that one field. You see it everywhere.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna redo that anyway in the spring.
Yeah.
Second
But then you
phase.
use
Second phase.
the 12,000 to seed and re-aerate that area. So, I don't know, you might be able to.
So that's not, okay, this is good. See, guys, what happens when people think things through, we have conversations? This is good, though.
Members.
But
Great contributors,
Hey,
great contributors.
Guys should run.
I know, hey,
Run
I want to
profits.
see it's open. I want to see it's open. My seat's open. So actually, we can do then, this is good. I hope I remember everything that was just said, because I got to bring this to FinCom. Then when we talk with them, so this is all contingent on whether or not this project passes, mostly.
Isn't that 27
No,
needed?
you need it
regardless, though?
anyway.
Yes, but we will not need it for this budget.
Yeah, so next year they can put in the budget more money.
Well, no, we need maintenance. If the CPA project falls apart and gets voted down, we still
Mm-hmm.
need field maintenance.
Correct.
That's what
We
she
don't
does
need
for contingent.
$27,000 worth of field maintenance.
I
Yeah, we
think you
do.
do. I think that's
No,
what
no,
we-
no, 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 because we already aerated, so, okay. Fiscal years run July to July. That's part of this, okay? So we've already we are using budget money now. So we've already paid for aeration, 6,000. We've also already paid for a fertilization treatment of 1,600. That comes out of this budget.
Has it been
Okay.
done yet, though?
Yes, diamond fertilized
But
and.
don't you'll need to do it again.
In the spring.
Yes, we will need to do it again in the spring, correct.
But we have the money.
But that will come out of this
Yeah.
budget.
Yeah.
Right.
Next year, we will not need to fertilize those front fields or aerate them because they're being rebuilt.
In the
No,
fall.
but
We don't
they're
know
not,
that.
if they don't get rebuilt.
We're saying
you still
that
need the
maintenance still needs to be done regardless of the way I understood the
It's gonna
proposal.
happen. If people turn that, vote that.
Yeah, I
down.
don't-
But it doesn't.
I don't think it will get
No, it's-
voted down.
don't
It's
even-
going
don't
to
even say
the
it
floor.
won't.
now.
Yeah.
That's what's going to hold it.
It's
How
gonna
could it
be-
not?
No, I think if
what
if
these
it's
funds
What are
presented.
the
made
other
for.
projects?
You watched the meeting?
What are the
I
other
got,
projects?
we just presented on Tuesday, I got
That's-
lambasted.
Yeah.
No, that's
I don't know,
because,
there's
it's
one
okay
down.
though, it's okay. It will, I think if it's presented correctly, I think they just needed more meat.
I got slaughtered too when we pitched the scoreboard in the dugout. They were hitting me hard, but it's just they dig in.
They were really nice the first meeting, and then they became a second meeting. and
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
then-
Yeah, I think
so
they
it
just
the kind
want,
floor would be fine, but it might not get there.
It's gonna get there.
It'll
It's
get
gonna get
It'll
there.
get there, it just might not have the votes. It'll
No.
be like,
On town floor?
They'll get
When
the.
did you present again?
It'll get the votes on town
Tuesday.
floor. Might not get there.
there was just, I will say, I think the board did not I think if we had a layout, there was a layout where they could see, okay, wait, you're gonna use this field, where were these kids gonna go? I think that was part of the question.
we didn't have it nailed down.
Right, exactly, so I think the feedback was
There's
good.
like a lot of different things we can do.
Yep, so now you know.
We thought we had more time to figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be fine. You guys, it's gonna be fine. All right, so that's good, so,
I think we all should go next time. Maybe.
Yeah, it was CPA.
Live.
It was on
Live.
Zoom. Oh, yeah, it's live
January
next time. Oh, yeah, it's live. Oh, my
Yeah.
God, we haven't been in person.
Got
Okay.
rowdy.
Yep. No, it'll be good. They just want to see, you know, the CPA board is just there to vet the project, right? And make sure that it's going to be, so they had to, you know, I thought the questions were good questions
Yeah.
that they asked. So because you're gonna get them on town floor, as Wayne was saying. So
Yeah.
be prepared, I think was the point. I see what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I agree with that too. Yeah, all right, so.
If the CPA project doesn't happen, we still need $27,000 in field maintenance a
To
year.
maintain those fields. However, it's you know, we, and this is also what we're gonna say, you guys should say on town floor too, we cannot continue to spend $27,000 on those fields without irrigation. We will,
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
12,000
It's
is
like throwing away
ridiculous.
money.
it's throwing away money. He said that, True Green said that to us. You're just rolling the dice. And some, like this spring was great, it was very, very wet.
Irrigation's not in the CPA package.
It is.
It is, it
Oh, it
is.
is, okay.
Yeah, they built,
Okay,
yeah,
that's why
they
it's
did a
like
really
this.
nice job. Yeah, that's why it's so expensive. It's like 180.
It's gotta happen.
So I think, yeah, so you're right, we do need that money regardless. This is tough. Because if we are gonna ask the town for that money, and then the CPA project passes, we won't use that money.
Seems like a pretty good scenario.
Yeah, but we
I know.
have to, we
Yeah,
have to.
they have to
use it.
spend
But then,
Can
yeah,
we use it on a director?
I mean, we could say, okay,
Swap where it goes?
I think you could give it back that year under the,
so we can have that conversation, so here's.
say, hey, you know, it's under construction, we're gonna give this back, but it's still in our budget for next year.
Yeah, it's in our budget for next year, yeah.
Really should
okay.
understand that it's contingent on,
This, yeah, this project.
I don't think they'll be mad if we don't spend the money.
No, I think you're right. We don't want that
Surplus
back.
is
No,
good.
keep it.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
that's what you think. And they're like, we'll take that right back. Thank you.
What was that, what did I say that was? 12,450. All right,
Put it
so
into the cornhole tournament.
should we recap this?
We're gonna have 12 breweries at the field next year.
Should be.
Maintenance expense,
So many to fill in line with-
rec budget,
Our games.
True
Yeah.
Green,
Oh, I know.
What are you gonna do?
soccer
Too much
rental,
going on.
so this maybe comes out
Can't
of
win.
facilities
There's always
budget.
something.
We had something going on that day, some games to
Oh,
go to
yeah.
or something.
Okay, so
Did
option
we come after?
2
They didn't come after.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah,
Wait for
but
it
the
to-
Patriots game, right?
would be soccer
Yeah, we got
races
there.
fees, $20 a kid,
Oh, yeah.
True.
Oh, yeah,
We're there for the
throwing discs.
cleanup, the important.
You better not want that.
8K per year.
So are you committing to $14,250?
No, it'd be 12,450, but that's only if we get approved for that for our budget.
So
But
what
that's
if we
tough.
don't- What if we don't get approved?
Well, I imagine we did because we get allocated that every year.
No, I'm saying like for the
So,
full.
for the 27. I mean, Kristen is, I will say, she's very good at trying to meet people, you know, with the small town budget too that we have. She's really, and Felicia, you can probably speak to this too, but she wants rec to be a successful
Sure.
committee. She understands that we have no budget. It is increasing. We did speak with her last year. She supported everything we said. It just has to come in phases, unfortunately. It might actually be nice to have her go down and walk the fields with us, so she can see
Yeah.
like how bad they really are.
It's not a great
But what
day.
happens if we don't get that? You know, if we don't get that, we're just throwing money out the window. We're just throwing money out the window.
Yeah, to a degree. It's like you still want to do what you can with the fields if they're not completely redone. Like you still want to fertilize them, you still want to aerate them, you still want to seed
Yeah,
them.
we would probably have to shrink it and just do the soccer fields themselves,
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
which is what
how
True
much do you
Green
really save
did.
doing that though? You know?
Well, they charge per acre, so a good amount. Because you would only be doing, what, 4?
I feel like the soccer fields take up a majority of that space, give or take.
There's a lot that's not field though. And we could maybe even jam them in a little differently, yes.
Shouldn't have to do that.
Well, I agree. You're right.
Jamming our field to save the, you know, it's ridiculous.
I know, and then all the other, and then what happens too is you get bugs on those that just make their way, the grubs are gonna make their way onto those nice fields, so. You're right, is it even worth it? I don't know, I don't think so. I think, you know, we can have the conversation and then see, and I don't, you know, that's all we can do.
Yeah.
So if we get, our budget gets approved, usually it's when you get your level funded budget, and last year we got 12,450 for True Green. From our perspective, I'll say this, from Rec's perspective, our budget's 17,550, and to spend 12,000 on fields, that's 71% of our budget, right?
Yeah, it sucks.
It does, it totally sucks. Oops, stinks.
Non-member can say that.
Yeah, sorry. But it does, right? So that's impactful to us as well. So yeah, there's that.
So do you need to know about the maintenance money before you present to CPA again?
Yeah, we have to have a better idea.
So, I mean, I don't think we've really gotten anywhere. Before, if we're meeting on January 30th, we're not going to meet again before then. So
We
I
have,
was trying to get you guys a number tonight that we can say, confidently say.
I'm thinking that we would have to say that, like, in worst case, we would raise our fees 8,000, and we have 12,000 dedicated from rec department right now.
Yep.
And it doesn't meet 27, but
So we need
it gets
seven.
us pretty close.
Have we shopped this 27 number around to like a few different companies? Do we know that's like?
There, we quoted with them and with Diamond, and the other company didn't. They were too busy to give us a quote, but they were, True Green's cheaper than.
The
But we
cheapest.
had to go with them because they were the cheapest.
Right, sure.
Is that a rule?
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll be different if we actually have irrigation and it's, the fertilizer will actually work.
Well, right, that's
Well,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, right?
It would be a lot better, but
Right, so these numbers could drop. I mean, everything's going up in price anyways and has been. So even
And
if
I think
it,
once it looks beautiful, everyone's gonna want it to be maintained as best as.
oh, yeah, for sure. Irrigation's gonna help huge.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that'll be a big one.
But that's all we have right now. It's $20,000 dedicated to maintenance.
well, maybe baseball can, again, like worst case, we could do the same and raise our fee. We have not nearly as many kids as you do. We probably have like 60,
What
50,
else
60.
Greg said you needed for-
So you guys should raise the fees by 3 times as much. That's 60 bucks. To get that
Well, we
8,000.
could, anything that we use the fields for, that we bring money in for, should go towards the maintenance of the fields.
Maybe once the pavilion's there, it could be.
Right. I would say any traffic on the fields, a portion of that goes into the maintenance bucket.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with making it work.
I just don't think
I don't
it's
want to
gonna
be
be
disproportional. I feel bad if soccer's paying 8,000.
Well, it's really not soccer even paying the 8,000. It's the parents paying 8,000. Soccer's not actually paying anything anymore. Because they're
Convenient.
not being.
Well, right, soccer's not paying anything.
Because I mean,
That was Mark's
you guys
suggestion.
were originally going to pay the field fees and then raise the fees for the parents, and then that 8,000 is from the parents, and then the field fees are not there anymore. So you guys actually make out in the deal.
So really, it would be
Not
like
trying to.
9,500 if we kept the field fees and raised the prices,
Yeah.
right?
Kittens.
We just pay for the whole thing.
Squeeze.
So no, per year it'd be about
That's great,
2,400, because it's
real quick.
$75 a team. And I think the last invoice I had, there were 16 teams, and that was in 2020.
So what was that? What was
You were
that?
going to be going with the 7,000.
Spring of 2023, there were 75 teams, that was
Add
12,
the fees.
16 teams, that's $1,200. So twice a year, that's $2,400.
Okay, so 9,400 bucks.
No, for a year, that's it, 2,400.
I know,
Wait,
Well,
what do you mean?
I think
Plus
the hope
7,000.
would be that
Oh,
in
right.
years to come, if the fields are in really nice shape, you could rent them to
Correct.
club teams. and,
Absolutely.
You could really start to defray a lot of that cost.
That's a really good point, Mark, yep. Yep,
And
renting the
I feel like
fields
if
to
this
defray.
was a soccer program or the soccer camp again, that money could go towards.
You guys should run a snack shack too. Make some cash.
I would love to run the sanction.
Doesn't make
No,
much
you're free
sense.
10.
We have 13 teams.
How are you going up in
Sometimes.
numbers but less teams?
Maybe, well, it's 26 for the whole year. Maybe the number you're thinking is the whole full year.
No, I have an invoice. It's 16 teams.
Who's fibbing?
That was for 23, spring of 2023.
John's cooking the books over there.
Maybe do you have more kids on a team than you did in years past? Did you only have like,
Oh, it might be like.
The larger
pre-K registration numbers too. I'd have to separate them out.
oh yeah, you don't have to do
Yeah,
it
like
now.
20 kids in
But-
the pre-K.
Those are bigger programs for sure.
And didn't you recently introduce the pre-K? Well, that's like a new thing, right?
Yeah, like 4 and unders.
Yeah.
That was my idea, soccer.
But either way, that's not a bad idea too, if you did, until we get, you could do, I see what Rick's saying, like the parents are paying and then soccer's not paying anything now.
You know, that's
Right.
why he was saying, he said,
Oh,
I'd really like to
okay.
stick with 7,000, then when he realized that he didn't have to pay the fees, and they go, oh, no, we can do 8,000 then.
Yeah, 8,000.
Because he realized that they weren't gonna be paying the fees
But I mean, the
anymore.
parents are paying for it either way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it's not like soccer makes money. It's like all from the people paying fees.
Yeah, but the pool of money that was there to be allocated to you guys is no longer being allocated, because the only funds being allocated to this is just the
Well, they're
parents'
paying
fees.
$8,000.
Yeah,
It's all
totally great.
parent money.
Huh?
If they don't, they shouldn't. That's too much to pay.
Parents, $8,000, $20 extra. I concur. Yeah. But if you guys
Definitely
need
is
to raise
not
it-
you guys. $80 for 8 weeks of soccer for a game and 2 practices? I'm sorry, I disagree.
That's like 4 hours.
Childcare is cheaper.
4 hours.
Oh, one practice.
I mean, childcare is more expensive. If you put them a babysitter for an hour, that's
It is.
$20 an
I know.
hour.
This is what's great about rec programs.
But what's
They're
that? It's like
cheap.
a 800% increase of what they paid last year, though.
I don't know what they paid last year. What did they
They're
pay last
paying
year? 40?
They paid $1,000 last year. Now they're gonna pay $8,000.
Oh, you mean the
They're not.
You're
program?
talking about
Oh, no. But the program's not.
I thought you meant the parents. I was like,
It's like what?
If the fees are being raised $20 per parent, per head for kids, I mean, then that's the $8,000.
Right.
And then.
Right, but if I'm soccer, I'm like, all right, well, I paid $1,000 last year for the fields. This year, I'm paying $8,000.
But the money's just filtering through, basically.
it was filtering through before. It was the parents were paying X amount before.
$3 per parent.
there's no impact to soccer because you're not going to see that money.
Right.
$20 increase goes right out. It's in, it's out.
Yeah.
It just revolves.
So, soccer
Right.
program wouldn't be really paying for it. Because they're.
Well, they're not paying for it now. It's the parents in town or who have kids playing
Mark's
soccer.
against any increase.
No, I'm not. Not at all.
Well, if
Yes,
you're
yes.
increasing it just so you can get the money to pay for the fields, right? That's why we're.
But-
Yes, that was the option too. That's
Yeah.
worst case, as John said.
Oh, it's worth, okay, so, and it's calculating correctly, because they are already paying field usage fees of $1,500 a season, let's say.
Is that a standard where a soccer program will pay $8,000 a year to play soccer on the town fields?
Yes.
I know that in
They
Boylston, yeah,
pay
a
for
lot of-
all
a
the
lot of-
maintenance on the fields.
In Bolton, they do it too. A lot of
Where?
towns do that.
In
The
Bolton.
the programs pay to maintain the fields.
So they're paying like $8,000.
Yeah, the latest it is.
I bet it's even
I
more.
tried to
Yeah, I
get,
think
she
it's-
was supposed to send me invoices, but she never did, but
Think it's
I was
all-
asking her, she said the town, like recreation has put irrigation and stuff in these fields, but the teams that play on them, like, in Bolton, there's so many different little fields, it's like
Yeah.
one soccer field here, baseball field.
Yeah.
So baseball pays for baseball field maintenance, soccer pays for soccer field maintenance, and I asked her, like, what does that mean, and she said, the fertilizing, the aerating,
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. She said if something goes wrong with the irrigation and like the base that recreation has laid, then we put it in our budget, but otherwise they pay for it.
I think in Boylston, didn't Blair do that with the baseball
I don't know
fields
the
at the
figure.
Manor?
Yeah.
It's gotta be a lot.
They
There's
paid-
multiple
for it, yeah.
fields.
Yeah, see, baseball does it too. They pay to maintain the fields. I think it's more commonplace than not. I think our situation is unique because all our fields are in that big open space.
Right.
Yeah, like the school uses that for gym class.
Right,
School
right.
band?
Everybody,
What's
yeah,
their-
that's what I'm
what's
saying.
their
the whole-
fee?
No.
That's why it should completely be recreations,
John
but
Kennel's
recreation doesn't
against her
have money
going over
for
on
it.
that field.
Yeah.
I read
He's
that.
made it
Come
very-
over there.
Yeah, but she goes over there because they have recess when she has gym.
Right, I get it.
So she doesn't want the gym kids in
Yeah,
their recess.
John
It's a
doesn't.
cluster. I think that makes sense.
She should pay
Um,
$8,000. They probably use it every day.
Yeah, but this is probably why
No, she's
every other
part-time.
town charges more money to play soccer or,
I don't-
you know,
yeah.
lacrosse or whatever
They
teams
are,
play
we're
there.
definitely on the lower, yeah, we're definitely on the lower end. But that's great, I think that's nice for families.
And the price is the same across the board for all these towns, whether you have 2,000 kids or
Mhm.
7,000 kids, because
Mhm.
the field is the field. You just gotta.
Right. We just have to figure out a way to fund the maintenance on the fields. That's what we have to do. So we know we can do, I love your idea, Mark, of once it's built, we just rent the heck out of it. And we can do that.
Definitely.
Obviously, the soccer program would have first rights refusal on that, right? You
But
would-
with a nice field, we could have
You're paying
2 weeks of
$8,000
soccer
and
camp.
Right, we could have
Can't even use the
camps.
fields. You'd filled up.
Right. No, you would have first rights. I said that, but Mark wasn't listening.
Maybe.
But, no, you would. You would always get first because you're the town resident program.
Maybe I'll start up some baseball programs.
Get the kids involved. Great.
But that's a good idea, so we just have to get through a couple years, not even, we just have to get through like, yeah, a year and a half of figuring this out.
I just feel like from their perspective, if you go, it's like, oh, we're gonna figure it out. It's like that's probably not gonna work for a CPA. I think they want like numbers, right?
Yeah.
No, I think you had a good suggestion for CPA. I think I think you have to do your worst case option too for CPA. Because at least that's definitive.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
you're right.
I feel like you can't go in there without like answer, you know.
Yep.
But
Right.
does
And
his
my
worst
answer's-
case work though? I think we're still short money, right?
Well,
Yeah, still short
charge
6,000.
baseball. Okay, how much is baseball going? We're in our worst case scenario.
I have to look at the numbers.
You don't know them off the top of your head?
I wasn't. No, I'm not prepared for this meeting.
Neither am I.
I know the numbers. Just because we accidentally took money out the other day.
Oh yeah.
Cooking the books.
Yeah.
Oh, you do know the numbers?
I know how much baseball has in their budget, but I'm not
Say
sharing.
2,500
$2,500? No.
for a year? If we're paying 8,000,
We
you
pay
have 200
We pay
kids.
to like do the fields though.
Yeah, but is the irrigation and everything happening on the baseball field as
Uh-huh.
well?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
That's nice. 2,500 for a year on baseball though? You gotta look at the, square footage there.
That's how many
I
kids
agree with
play.
Yeah, divided by.
Yeah, but
the-
softball also might go over there too.
All right, 2,000.
I haven't even started that conversation.
Yeah, I'll put you down for a 2,000. I don't know.
$1,000.
1,000? Yeah. Got that on video.
We gotta just increase our fees a little bit, match the towns
How much
around.
is
Not
baseball?
our
I
fees,
don't
your
even remember,
fees.
because Kaylee hasn't played for so long. How much is it per kid?
It's like 95, I think.
Oh, it's already.
Oh, you're already up
It's
there.
already up there.
Baseball actually pays for their own uniforms and stuff though. And all that.
Okay.
Oh, that's true. Soccer, you have to pay your own.
Yeah.
So I just came to find out what number you guys are gonna give us, and it's 12,450 towards maintenance a year.
I feel like
Worst
this
case
is the
scenario.
best,
Unless they
I
give us
think,
more.
I think this is the best option to stick with where we are. I agree with that, and
So, I mean.
I think I might agree with also your $20 a kid and just revolve that right out to the fields.
Yep. And then we'll try to figure out something for the rest before
Yeah,
January
you gotta
30th.
figure it out before.
Yeah,
You gotta say, it's we funded this way.
12 days. Figure that out.
yeah.
We got this.
I'll talk to my guy. All right,
I'll
so
talk
They
to
that's,
my
talk,
guy.
you do like you know what Boylston does? They hang those flags like on 70.
Sponsors?
Yeah, it's like $500 a flag.
yeah,
Well, I
Yeah.
would help with that.
yeah,
That's
we've talked about jerseys with like sponsorships on them,
Yeah.
Sponsor a team?
yeah. But, we'll see.
What time you picking up, B?
People
Oh,
will do
shoot.
that.
I don't know.
8:15.
8:15.
It's
I
8:09.
think they're gonna go. So, the only
Okay,
other thing.
thank
I
you.
wanted to
Unless
talk
Carrie's
about
gonna
is,
pick them up.
Is Carrie picking them up?
I don't know.
Pretty good.
That's great,
You could
man.
text
This
her.
is great. Thank you guys so much.
50 messages.
Really
It's so
appreciate it.
rude.
Good luck with your battle. If you need any help, give me a call. I'll see if I can
Same.
fundraise something.
Same.
Brendan's 8:15. Thank you, everybody.
8:15, yeah.
Yeah.
Love you, bye.
I also want to know what the state of the master plan is.
What do you mean by the state of it?
Bob's
Yeah,
not,
well-
Bob's not here.
Have we started, have you guys started it yet?
Oh, for rec down in the Commons? I think you
Yeah.
meant Berlin's master plan.
Doesn't Berlin have master
Mhm.
plan?
It's on the website.
Commons master plan?
No, that's Bob's purview. Unfortunately, he's not here.
Okay. Is there any like meetings scheduled to like start it?
No. Or I'm answering for Bob. I have no idea. We just meet. Do you mean, do we have like subcommittee meetings within the committee?
I just
I
wanna
think
know.
he's wondering if it's on the agenda for next meeting. I think.
Oh, no, we haven't even set the agenda, but we can talk to
think-
Bob.
I've missed, I think, the last rec meeting, so, and we didn't have one last month, but I do think there's a lot of stuff we have to probably figure out
Yeah,
as far as like the location of the pavilion, the playground,
correct.
master plan.
Yep.
All the stuff we kind of left a lot of loose ends, unless you got figured out when I wasn't there, but,
No, we didn't. We just, no.
so maybe the next
We
meeting,
need-
like that's all stuff that needs to be figured out before May, right?
Yep.
So we only have
Even
like
before
three-
that, because we're gonna have to,
Like 3 meetings.
Yep. We just need, everyone in attendance to do this, but I
Right.
agree with you.
And more
Yes.
than an hour.
And what?
More than an hour.
Yeah. We could
Wanna-
certainly
you
do
wanna
2
join that?
meetings a month,
A lot of
too.
meetings.
I'm gonna put it on the agenda then for the next meeting.
You can attend anytime, open meeting.
I've been here
That's
the
true.
last two meetings.
I know, you're so good.
Be the change you want to see in the world, John.
All right, I put it on the agenda for next meeting.
Alright.
All right, so you're gonna add all that into your, are you also adding into that, John, rental fees, or no, you're leaving that out of your option two?
I'm leaving it out, but
Okay,
we'll have to figure that out.
so you got 12,8. All right,
I guess it makes sense to leave it in, but it's just a lot of money to pay to rent fields.
I think it's a ton of money to pay. I personally feel like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
it's not bad. Yep,
So like Hudson charges 130 and 150. Fitchburg is 90 and 110. Clinton is 80 and 100, which is
We're talking
where we would be.
Soccer
field
fees.
usage fees or?
No,
No, this
fees.
is just
Like
registration fees. Townsend Ashby, which is a pretty small town,
Mhm.
they do 90 and 115, which is where we would be coming up to, right? I mean, not even. We would still be.
no,
below
80,
that.
110,
Still
yeah,
below
below.
Yeah, they're tiny.
Oakmont is 55 and then 130.
Also, the
Charging
Wolves
like a
pay
lot
like
more
nothing.
for the older kids.
Probably what it should be, because those kids practice once a week and they
Yeah,
have practice
agree.
3 times, you know? Or they have 3 interactions.
Yeah, right. I would say like the lower.
You do that, it's a $30 difference for you.
Don't tell us how to run Slack.
That's good.
Groton Dunstable is 100 and 145.
Maybe
That's
take
all.
this to your soccer meeting.
Yeah, we will.
Wow, that's a lot.
No one cares about this.
Yeah.
I know, see, rec sports, it used to be affordable, it's not, it's going the other way now.
I don't have 4 kids.
I know. Yep. All right, I think we made good headway.
What's next?
I got a lot to like organize here. It's just notes all over the place. I feel like I'm in college.
I have one thing I just want to.
Yep, Mark. I'm gonna
Say.
put a Mark corner. Mark.
We need to move the pickleball nets somewhere indoors
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
for the winter. They're getting covered in snow and the ice. It's gonna probably ruin them.
Can you take the tennis nets down too?
Yeah, I mean, we should.
Yeah, we could take
Um,
everything down.
We should. I just don't know where I can put all this stuff. I can take them down. I'll
I'm
do
gonna.
it. I just need to know.
It's really hard because I feel like people are using them like
Right now they
when
are.
it's not Arctic. Like
I feel like from probably now to like March though, you can
don't
probably
have to
safely put them away. Because I mean, covered in snow now. It's probably gonna keep kind of snowing or be really cold.
yeah, it's chilly, I suppose. Yeah.
So I just don't. Do we know a place in town where we can store these? And I'll take them down and put them somewhere.
We could put them in the closet. 1870.
That's fine.
They just come and they wrap, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they
haven't
came
given
in.
us a designated storage
boxes, but-
place. So.
I know Bob had originally talked about putting them in that shed down there. I don't know if that's an
I
option.
wouldn't do that.
I think the mice will rip through those nets.
That's a very
I feel
good
like they need
point.
to be indoors.
I don't know.
somewhere.
I bet the mice might rip through in 1872.
Well, Can we put them in like a bin or something? Or is that
I
worse?
think they're too big to go in a bin.
That might be too big.
I'm trying to remember, they came in, I think like decent sized boxes.
Yeah. All right, let me,
We really need to get a closet or a room in here. Like
let me
bag.
ask, all right, I'll message Kristen about
Maybe she'll have a
space.
suggestion of where we can put them.
Right,
Yeah, and just say the word and I'll get rid of them. I'll put them there like tomorrow, but.
okay.
Yeah, if you need any help, I'm sure Greg's around to help you.
Thanks for moving the picnic table.
I know, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. All right. All right. We're gonna strike some things from this agenda. It's 8:15. All right, so we did the budget request. Any signage update? I know we're getting. You did the sign for I saw the pickleball courts. Do you want to invoice?
They donated.
Donated. So nice.
We got a sweet
Are there more
Berlin-
signs that are
Berlin
needed?
Recreation sign too.
No, but we should probably send a thank you card then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
It's just a nice.
I brought them a nice gesture when I picked it up.
Okay. Okay, donation. Okay. So we went over the CPA update. Do you want all of us to go to this meeting? I'll be on CPA, but to invite rec as, because if so, then we'll have to
30th?
post a meeting. Is
They're
it
supposed to
the?
meeting if we're just gonna attend a meeting?
Yeah, because if you have a quorum, because then if this starts to have conversation, you only post it just so you can cover your tracks. You know what I mean? So I can do that. Post a meeting for rec. Okay. Playground update. We don't have anything, but we're gonna have to
We gotta
move
talk
on
to
that.
guy.
Yes, but I feel like what we should do is we should have a separate meeting just for playground
Fine. I feel like playground and pavilion.
together.
Last time
I think-
when we talked with Bob, he was going to, I think he said this, I could be wrong, that he was going to do like an image
He was.
of the whole field so we could kind of like move around where we were thinking of placing
Yep.
the pavilion in regard to like
But I
where the
think that
fields are.
mattered on where the playground was gonna go though.
Well, playground's staying right where it is.
Yeah, it's staying where it is, same footprint.
So we're gonna change it. Huh?
Yeah?
That wasn't the plan. We were thinking of having the pavilion kind of close to it
Oh,
so they could access from the
I
park
may be misremembering. I thought we were gonna
to the pavilion.
like ADA and stuff. That's all.
Yeah, so the quote that we got has some ADA accessible,
Okay,
like
so we don't
swing
have
and
to-
that stuff, but
Okay.
we were thinking with the pavilion moving, we could have ADA compliant right from the park to there,
Okay.
I think.
Perfect.
That's the plan. So it wouldn't be too far away, but even if it's 20 feet, there'll be some type
Right.
of path or something.
Accessibility, good,
Yeah.
yeah.
So from the playground to the pavilion?
Mhm.
Okay. Because that's what we
Yeah.
need to do, right?
Yep,
And technically, probably from the parking,
definitely.
right?
And that's gonna be tough because it's all gravel.
Well, we just have to bring it up to the level of the gravel, I guess.
And they did it at the tennis court.
I know, but I don't
Can't you
think
do
that's
like
all.
those, can't you do like
It's supposed to be a padding there.
an ADA like
Did it.
ramp type thing to the, whatever you call it, like the rubber or whatever?
Yeah,
Unless they want to do like pavement
Yep.
again, but I feel like that's hard to.
yeah, so we can maybe talk to the building inspector, because I know he knows all about the ADA compliance stuff. Okay, so maybe then, how about this, guys, for the next meeting, all we do is the playground, pavilion, master plan, that's it. And
Sounds
bills,
great.
those are so fast.
I feel like it should be like fairly soon, not in a month.
Okay,
I don't know.
what do you think, Mark?
Well, our other meeting is less than a month away, right? It's supposed to be like February something, February 7th or something like that.
Yeah,
You just randomly posted that. Probably.
no, the 14th, right? Second Thursday of the month, is that
I
right?
thought it.
Valentine's, right? We can't do that.
No.
But why don't we do that? Playground, pavilion, master plan, okay?
So I feel
Oh,
like
February 8th. it
Go ahead,
says.
the master plan I think we probably need someone who like knows how to write a master plan.
You know who went to school for that?
Greg
Who?
Tatnall.
Greg Tatnall.
Oh, nice. That's interesting.
Maybe he could attend.
I try to get him here every time.
What's he doing?
I don't know. Texting me.
Is he watching us, texting in?
We'll just have to get Lindsay on board. Tell her to kick him out.
He's probably sleeping.
Get your husband out.
Another 3 o'clock.
All right, but good idea. Okay, so we'll invite Greg, just not on Valentine's.
Well, I just feel like we don't, I don't know
course.
anything about master plan.
No, yeah, it's usually done by engineers, right?
What do you know?
Isn't Bob an engineer?
Not much.
Oh, yeah, Bob is.
I don't think
Bob-
he's that type of yeah, he's not that type of engineer.
That's okay. We have the.
I'm certainly not qualified for that. So.
I feel like none of us are probably qualified to write a master plan for the town common, you know?
I'm not trying to discredit like how hard it is, but isn't it just about like deciding what what we want to put there, and then how is the best way to put it there?
I don't know. don't
I would
know.
imagine.
It seems like a big job. Like,
It does seem like a
sounds
big
very
job.
like a master plan. Like,
Yeah.
This is what the generations of children will plan on. Should probably do it right. You know? It's thought.
Well, we did a master plan in 2000 for the town, and just nothing became of it.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Who did that one?
I know Mr. McKay was on that. Yep.
There should almost be like a committee that comes up with a master plan, you know? And then year after year, next year we're gonna try and do the splash pad that we
Yep.
know is going over here. And we're
That's a
gonna
great idea.
Really well for the irrigation, it's gonna be used for this as well as this, and we
Yep.
have electrical there and run there.
If we have irrigation, that's like game.
Changing.
If we have wells there, that is.
But I feel like even to do
huge.
that, you almost need to know what else the well's gonna be used for before you put it in. Because that's all like numbers and calcs and
Mm-hmm.
making sure you get enough water for it. So
There's
Well,
gonna
you
be
could
a
just
lot-
dig another well, yeah?
There'll be a lot of water there.
well, it's probably more efficient to use the same well, you know?
I don't know. I don't know anything about wells.
See, we don't know anything about
I know
this.
we don't. I don't know anything about wells. No. No. All right. So I don't know how we'll have to then maybe touch base with Greg. We'll touch base with Greg. Like he needs something else to do.
He's fine.
He's fine. It's on film. Greg, you're fine.
Ask around if there's any other master plan engineers.
People. All right.
Maybe there's some random person in town that.
Do you tell
He's
Greg
retired
Mark's
and would
volunteering
love
him
to
for
do
the
that.
master plan? And you, by the
Oh,
way,
no,
you
he
dropped
already-
his
He already
name.
volunteered himself.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah, good luck trying to get him here, but,
I know.
no, it's,
Maybe Zoom would work better for him.
that's why we were trying to get a master plan meeting going.
All right. So why don't we then, so we'll meet separately about pavilion, playground, and then we'll do another meeting just for the master plan.
Okay.
For people that want to do that. I don't.
I mean, I don't think that moving the footprint of the playground would be a good idea. It's just gonna increase the cost, and I think we're gonna be.
I
in
agree,
trouble.
I agree, and I like where it is,
Yeah.
I think.
And then.
I mean, I think if I had to redo it, I think it's probably a little close to the road, maybe.
Agree, that's the only thing, you're right about
But
that, Mark.
is it really worth moving it? I think it
Mhm.
still works fine.
We could fence it
I think
in.
if we had better landscaping, like the original landscaping, it kinda almost like kept the kids trapped.
Or fence it
away
in.
From the road,
Like in
the
Clinton.
bushes and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, I don't
Cage
know, I
'em.
don't like fences.
Cage 'em.
And then you can't see them when they go behind the fence.
And it's
No,
a
you
real
see
pain
it.
in the butt
It's
to
a-
move the, wood
Yeah.
chips.
I'll just shut my
Remember?
mouth.
Chain link. That one's nice, you've been in the one in Clinton. Yeah, it's nice. What's a Vale Park?
Savage Field?
Savage,
Field.
nothing.
That is like, that was planned out,
Yes.
Yeah,
and like, everything works.
Yep. Limited
like-
it's
space.
tiny.
Limited
Yeah,
space.
you
They
have,
really did a
like,
great
An
job.
awesome baseball field, awesome playground,
Mhm.
pavilion, they have tennis courts, they have
Yeah,
basketball.
no, like basketball
court.
court. Skate park is in the back.
That's like well thought out.
Softball.
Like,
Yeah, that
man,
is.
that was like, they're not just piecing things in there. Like that was
Mhm.
planned out
True.
by
True.
someone like Greg.
Yep. All right, so we'll just tap Greg Tatnall.
Have you been there, Savage Hill?
No.
Check it out.
Vale Street? Really? Never been there?
I don't know.
No, your kids don't play baseball.
No, because they wouldn't. Yeah, his
Yeah.
kids are too little right now too. All right, great. All right, good. Boom, boom. Disc golf done. I had Town Pond and ice skating on here, but I don't think that's even anything we need to discuss. 'cause
Not on
it's
our radar right now. No.
Nope. Boom.
But I mean, that would be awesome to get back on.
Yeah.
It does get cold.
I know. We
have
What?
a pond in my driveway.
I saw Rocky Pond. People were on Rocky Pond.
Yeah, people were amongst you
Yeah, I
guys.
saw that.
That was funny. All right, we have to pay some bills. Let me get all my stuff together here. This is all mine. Okay. So, we have, I feel like I should, I'm gonna throw so many numbers at you, but I think I'm gonna put this on a Google, I'm gonna put it on the Google Drive. And then everyone could just access the finances whenever.
Okay.
I think that's a better way to do it than what I have now. I just have it in Excel and for the last like 5 years. All right, so what we're gonna pay is CSI. We have a portable invoice for $540. That was the last one of the season for November. So we'll send that out, and then they've removed everything for the season. And then when we start back up in April, I'll call them and we'll put down 4 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, on the property. Diamond Athletics, we're paying for the fertilization, $16.10, and we're paying the fitness classes, which is me, $635. So we're depositing. You brought up. Well, it doesn't even matter because he's not even here to deposit it. I'll do it in the morning. We're gonna make a deposit for $705 from the fitness classes. We're netting 70 on that. The sweatshirt fundraiser, which is still going on, which was such a good idea, Felicia. Well done. Mark, do you want to go on camera and show the sweatshirt? Dun dun dun. Look at that. Nice. $40.
Available in crew neck.
Also available in
Really?
crew neck. Yeah.
So those.
Did not know that.
How do people order these?
What?
We're on camera.
Just do an infomercial.
Commercial.
Order them on the Berlin Recreation page.
Yep. Perfect.
How many are remaining?
I think I have like 45,
All right.
but that's out of like 160.
It's really good. You sold a lot.
Yeah.
You've sold a lot.
When are kids' sizes coming?
I don't know.
That would be it.
I know.
Yep. So kid sizes are going to be
Sell all these
available.
first, I feel like.
Well, let's talk about this, right? So for sweatshirts, you're over, right? So we paid, or you paid total.
It's like 3,500.
Yep, $36.20. So far with what you've sold, the committee's netted $565.
Sweet.
And you
More
s-
than that.
I might have done the math wrong, but I think I did it right. So you have $3,345 in cash we're depositing and $845 in checks we're depositing, which is $41.85,
Okay.
right? And then we paid out $36.20, so that's a net of $565. But you also have inventory.
Have what?
You have inventory. You have
Oh, yeah.
you have 45
A lot.
sweatshirts still, so that's also going to be another. What's that? 18.
Do you want to sign?
Yep,
Here, give
can't
these
wait.
to Julie for me, please.
40 times 45. Yes, it's another $1,800 inventory you're sitting on.
Great.
So plus the 565. So all in all, that'll be 2365 on that fundraiser.
Nice job.
That'd be awesome.
Right?
It's all sold.
Really good job. All right. So that's that. Men's Soccer League submitted $150, which will go toward field maintenance fees.
I didn't do the cash one.
Just kidding. That's
I
okay.
don't know
I
if
can
you're
fill it
gonna
out in the
add
morning.
something else. Okay.
So we have a total balance right now in our general fund of $7,602. We started with $17,550. This is all in the spreadsheet. So far we have spent this year $9,948, and we still have. So we don't have any expenses right now because nothing's getting used. So we'll just have April, May, and June to pay for the fields, the goose patrol, and the trash. And there's $9,000 there. Our revolving fund, we have $13,201 in there. We started with $13,423. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So we're good. We're in good shape, I think, with our budgets. We just have to sign this stuff now, guys. So you guys have to both sign that. I cannot sign this. You can sign those. This is going to her. This is going to her. Bye, John. Thank you for coming. Sweatshirt fundraiser. Yep, good, good. I'll make these deposits.
John,
Oh,
your coat.
John, your coat.
Good catch.
Hey, guys.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, pay bills, deposits. All right, so we are meeting with
Let's say no signatures.
the Finance Committee February 21st to go over our budget.
Isn't that February vacation? Are you
Yep.
kidding me right now?
You mean regular?
Well, the first one I couldn't do. Oh, you're gonna be away?
Probably. I'm home for part of the week.
Are you going then? Well, that's all right.
It'll depend on the weather.
Oh,
I
right.
can come home for a couple days. Still have to work.
I'm gonna come home to go to the meeting. We could Zoom. Oh, the rooms are built for that. No.
Do I have to take a class for that or something?
No, because they'll set the whole thing up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea if you can't do it. All right. I think that's it. Do we have anything else?
Do you want us to sign those?
Nope, these don't have to be signed. Those just go right to the,
Oh, right, okay.
yep, to the woman. 118. I'll drop these off tomorrow. What's it? 2024, guys.
Mm.
Are you gonna take this cash?
Yep, I'll take the cash. We'll make that deposit. We'll do this. I'll bring all this tomorrow.
Love this.
Disc golf. That's a great
Great.
idea.
That'd be cool.
Have you played on the one in
Still gonna-
Boylston?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a bag for Christmas.
Oh, you did? Do you like it?
Aw,
Disc golf? You do?
Oh, yeah, I love
It's
it.
fun?
Yeah. I'm new to the game. I'm
He's
no,
always
I'm
trying.
No Rick Lee, but
He's always trying to get me to go. I'm like, I'm not going. Yeah, call someone else.
it's good to be
Well, I
outside.
gotta send
I
him
know, I
that
love being
guy's
outside.
information.
Okay.
Jody, what's his last name? It's Frank Brewer's son-in-law. He
But
loves
this-
disc golf. He goes to the one in Boylston all the
Huh.
time. But when he heard that Rick was thinking about doing, he's planning on doing another one too, right? Or gonna
He
try.
wants to try to do one on the Aqueduct.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
That's like a bigger one, like
Yeah,
Boylston.
but Beth sent me his info. I'll have to send it to Rick.
Yeah. I didn't realize it's such a popular sport.
Yeah, it's not like a niche, like cold calling.
Yeah.
I don't know
yeah.
that waitress all the time. Like all the guys I work with, they did it all the time.
They just
But there
don't.
were only a few places,
Right.
like Spencer and
Yeah.
one in Worcester.
That's what I asked Rick. I said, when did this become so popular? He said during COVID, people were playing a lot more because they could go outside and play because there was nothing.
Yeah.
There was nothing. And you could, be distanced and whatever. All right, I feel like we can adjourn the meeting. We'll just, all in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We're